Hello everyone. I'm about to leave the parking lot of the mall and then I'll get to discussing the film that you'll see in the title. So basically I'm behind on film reviews. I haven't posted in like 2 weeks. Oh man, I've been busy with school and everything. First of all, I've been going to see these movies and I've had like plans and events with friends and stuff and family as well. So I've had a lot of stuff going on that I've had to catch up on, but I've also had like essays and homework and shit, and that's taken up a lot of time. Everyday life, kind of shit. But yeah, with all the essays and stuff I've been having to work on and family stuff and then going to see these movies, I haven't had time to review these movies, and I didn't want every review to be in the car. Here I am reviewing a movie in the car while driving. It's just like it's such the easiest time because it's like I don't have to go home and record it. Like right now I'm gonna go home and go to bed because I have school early in the morning, and I want to get them Guardians of the Galaxy tickets out of the way too, because that's happening tomorrow, Monday, April 3rd. Be ready at least 8 a.m. where I am, Central Standard Time. Tickets will go on sale. But tonight, I happened to go check out the new horror film Malum, which I didn't know much about. I knew it took place at a police station, I knew it was R-rated, and I knew it was a remake of the film Last Shift. I haven't seen Last Shift, so I don't know anything about the film itself, so I didn't really know much else about what this one was about. I'd heard about Last Shift a few years ago. I heard it was like a pretty solid like horror film done for a low budget. People said it was fairly creepy. I knew it took place at a police station. I knew these little hints and dinger bobby things about it, but I didn't know much directly about it or what the film was about. So I was pretty interested going to check this one out because I was like, should I watch Last Shift first? But then I heard it was a beat-for-beat remake, but it had like a way bigger budget. The scares were bigger and more grand. I've heard some people say that makes the film less scary, less creepy, and then I've heard other people say that it made the film more intense, more entertaining, easier to consume. I don't really know. Honestly, I'll have to check out Last Shift because I enjoyed this film quite a bit. I thought it was very entertaining and pretty well done. It has some good sense of direction. For a low-budget film, it looks pretty good too. Like this, I have seen horror films that are theatrically released that look like absolute fucking shit and have bigger budgets. I've seen The Bye-Bye Man. I've seen the first Ouija movie. I've, like, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey went to theaters. Then I think more movies like Malum. I'm sure there's a lot of horror movies that go to Shudder. Like the 20 to 30 originals they have here. They might even have more originals than that. I don't know. But there's some good ones that I bet deserve theatrical releases. And we haven't really seen them. And I'm very curious if we could get more films like that, because again, at least to me, I thought that this film was pretty good. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like amazingly written or incredibly clever. It was a bit on the nose of the message it was trying to convey, and a lot of story elements were not perfect, but I found it to be pretty consistently entertaining. I thought a lot of the characters were good. I thought, someone's getting arrested. I thought a lot of the characters were cool. It mainly is one character. Okay, there's 3 more cops showing up to that guy. What happened? I'm scared. I'm gonna turn this light off just in case of shit. I don't want to be seen. So sorry, now it's a dark review, but nerves get the best of me. Alright, so what was I talking about? I was talking about Malum. I was gonna say the characters are pretty good. There's a few variety of police officers in this film that all have minimal development, but it mainly is focused on this one character of Jessica, who was the daughter of this police officer who had saved a bunch of girls last year from a cult following thing under a guy named John Malum. Oh, wow, the movie's called Malum. And basically, he ends up going insane and killing 2 of his police officers, and then he kills himself, and this is a year later. And kind of out of honor, she wants to know what happened to him by taking the night shift where no one else is at this police station, this old police station, since they have a bigger new one that's apparently way more advanced, and a lot more people are working at the night shift. So she takes over this old police station alone, and it's a pretty scary scenario because it's one of those movies that's in a location nearly the entire runtime. And I mean, like, it might as well be the entire runtime is in this police station because there's barely any outside things other than a few little elements here and there. But it's actually fairly interesting because I think when you have a contained space and you have the idea of like someone having not only a supernatural force or possibly a cult being there, you also have the idea that this daughter has experienced a slightly traumatized past, and obviously her dad went insane and killed people, and himself, so clearly he was seeing something, and you kind of know that it's going to be also a little psychological, a little bit about mental issues, and the fact that it relates to cops, you can guess the message of what the cops are there for in the movie, as usually as the message can be for a modern day film. And it's decently well done, again, a little on the nose at times, and I do think that sometimes the plot points can be pretty obvious. I expected a lot of the twists that happened, a lot of the reveals. I was like, okay, that makes about sense. It seems about average of where it was going. But the thing that really works for this film is its main lead performance, I believe, by Jessica Sola, who plays, it would be, what's her dad's last name? Jessica, it would be Jessica, it starts with an L. It's definitely an L word. Oh my god, what was it? His name is Will Leon? I already forgot the name. It's Jessica L. We're going to call her Jessica L. I liked her character a lot, and I thought her performance is really good. Without a performance that's at least minimally pretty damn good, I think you would have had a complete batshit mess of a movie. And as well as that, the direction and the scares. The film looks good, the scares are genuinely creepy, they were unsettling at a lot of points in the movie. There were 2 scares and then one kill, like one gory kill, that I was like, oh shit, like they actually got me, and I'm not good. Jump scares don't tend to get me, nor do kills super get me effect, unless it's something like Terrifier, where I'm like, holy shit, this is just insane. But no, there was a kill in here where I was like, whoa! And there were some jump scares and creative moments where I was like, that's genuinely really creepy. And I actually enjoyed the very last element. I enjoyed the design of this entity that you'll see in the film. The main one I enjoyed the design of. I thought it was pretty cool. And it made me want to go back and watch Last Shift. I'm very curious how a lower budget, more constrained film of this story would be. I'm sure it's pretty similar, but I would like to check it out. And it's interesting that, I don't know if this director has had a film in between Last Shift and this. If he has, I would like to check that out. I'm curious what he did between like the break of these 2 films, because apparently, again, they are beat for beat remakes. And if you've seen Last Shift and you liked it and you think an improved, bigger budgeted version sounds better, then you'll probably enjoy this more. But if you like the creepy tone, I imagine, of the first one, because I'm hearing that one's more contained, a little bit more sinister by what isn't shown, that less is more, then you'll probably should stick with the original. I do want to check it out to see which one I would prefer, because I'm not really against it. I just want to see what did it better. But I thought that this was a good film. It was creepy at times. I went with a friend of mine who's a fan of horror films. I kind of just told him, like, hey, you want to go check this out? I don't know much about it, but I've heard some pretty okay things. And I thought it was pretty good. It's not a great film at all, but I think the performances are good. The writing was pretty solid. I liked all the side officers. I really enjoyed Price and Hudson? I thought those 2 were cool. I like the one that's constantly like raging. Was it Coleman? That guy he first comes in. I thought his role was funny. I mean, it's overly aggressive. I don't know if it's meant to be serious or funny, but I found it chuckle-worthy at times. I almost feel like you're supposed to get some comedic relief, even though he's a very intense, loud, aggressive character. He has a line where he goes, "Are you gonna shut the fuck up like a baby? Shut the fuck up like a baby?" And she's like, "All right, I'm gonna stay here." And then he's like, and she's like, "I'm gonna shut the fuck up like a baby." And I was like, I thought this scene was funny. I don't know if it was meant to be, but it gave a relief to the very creepy tension throughout the movie, because this film, again, is very unsettling. Definitely not for kids. It can get pretty gory and pretty sinister at a lot of times, and a lot of things would probably go over a kid's head anyway. The story does jump around the second and third act. At a point, it became a little repetitive because of that, but its repetition was kind of necessary for the story they were trying to tell. They had to give a lot of exposition, because the first act is basically like shit being shown, and it's a very slow, sinister pace. You're kind of building this mystery. I did kind of prefer that more than the very grand, a lot ending, because the last 40 minutes are a lot happening at once, and it does jump around a bit because she is seeing flashbacks and having dream sequences, and stuff does cut to different areas where I'm like, okay, perhaps she's going insane and that correlates to her dad. I'm not going to say what happens or where it goes, but again, I did think at elements of the movie were predictable. There's a few elements that caught me off guard that I thought were interesting, but yeah, it didn't do anything too amazing. I just thought that this was a pretty solid, very entertaining enough. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes or so, and if you have time to go check out and support a smaller independent horror film, the fact that this even got a limited theatrical release is something to be celebrated. I think so, and I want more horror movies like this. I think sometimes you can get better horror movies like Malum than when you can from mainstream studios, like when you can see shit like I said, Bye Bye Man or Ouija or anything like that. Ouija 2 is great, but that's a different story. But yeah, if we can get more independent horror films like this, I'll go check out a few more. Like, it's always fun to see someone's different vision, and the fact that he got a bigger budget to improve on it, that's a good thing, I think. And the fact that it got a limited theatrical run, also a good thing. I'll have to see if I like it more than the original, because I haven't seen it, but again, I still think this is a fact that needs to be supported. It's a pretty good time out of the movies. There were about 8 other people in the theater, and I heard and I heard people got scared. One kid ran out because I think someone brought their kid, and I heard them like whisper behind us, like, did he get scared? So I thought that was funny during the movie. So yeah, don't bring your kids. Maybe like 13 and up. It's not like the worst horror film ever, but it's pretty gory and disturbing. Again, there's one kill where I was like, oh, fuck. Wow. Overall, for me, a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's a pretty good time out of the movies. Now, since I have a little bit more time to drive home, I'm not going to do a review for it right now, but I'm planning to do a review of Dungeons & Dragons. I swear to God, I've seen it twice. I do want to do a little discussion about it and talk about it. Maybe, I don't really need spoilers. There's not a lot to spoil really in that movie, but I do want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, hopefully before the Mario movie comes out, because you know I'm going to be doing a Mario movie review. I'm also going to be reviewing the 1993 Mario movie. I just watched it for the first time ever yesterday, but what a fucking trip that was. But yeah, I want to review that beforehand, so hopefully I can do a Dungeons & Dragons review on Monday, and then I can do a Super Mario Bros. Review for the original film on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then when I have the chance to see the new Mario movie, I'm going to be going Thursday night with my dad and my nephew, and then I also am planning to see it I'm seeing it on Thursday with my dad and my nephew, and then I'm planning on seeing it on Sunday with a bunch of friends, so I will have seen it twice. Maybe I'll do like a non-spoiler quick thoughts review after I see it on Thursday, and then maybe if I can get a friend or two to review it with me, I can do a spoiler review of it. So expect 2 to 3 more videos this week. I want to do some extra videos. I've been a bit behind, but I got a little bit of time here between doing homework and the movies I'm seeing and family stuff. I can find time to fit in a few reviews, but I'm glad I got to talk about this, even if it's on the drive home in a dark video that you can barely see. I wanted to give a shout out to these guys for making an independent horror, because independent horror is important and we should support movies like it, and I want more movies like this. If a pretty decent horror film can get to theaters, independent one that fills in more time, I'm sure, like, there's big ones that I'm excited for. I loved Scream 6. I thought Megan, Skinamarink were... Speaking of Skinamarink, that was another small independent horror film that was really good to me, and I really enjoyed that. And this is on that same level. I hope Malum gets support. I've seen pretty good reviews, and hopefully it's making box office money. There's only 8 people in here tonight. It is a Sunday night, though, and I checked on, like, the Friday night showings, and there were way more people. So maybe it'll make some decent money. I don't know how many theaters it went to, but I'm just happy that it was playing in a theater near me. And yeah, I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's it for my review. Solid 7 out of 10, and expect a few other reviews coming later in the week. Don't think of anything else to say, so that's it. Bye.